Welcome back to OSP. Today I'm back with an intriguing topic: HL7 integration. Many providers often find it challenging to understand HL7 integration and how developers can make it easy. Let's understand HL7 and its integration in this video. What is HL7? I'm sure most of you already know a lot about it, and others might have some ideas. Well, in the simplest sense, HL7 or Health Level 7 is an international standard that defines how the transfer of clinical, financial, and administrative data will happen across organizations. Having said that, HL7 is a 7-layer ISO communication model, and 7 layers include physical, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, and application. In short, first 4 layers deal with communication, and the rest with function. Altogether, it's an engine that assures smooth transfer and retrieval of data. Today's healthcare software ecosystem needs HL7 standards, hence the HL7 integration. Before I proceed to HL7 integration, it's essential to understand HL7 interoperability standard versions, and those are version 2.0, the prototype version released in 1988, version 2.1, the first standard version of HL7 that came out in 1990, version 2.2, the most widely adopted version released in 1994, version 2.3, the version considered to be in operation and was released in 1997, version 2.3.1, the version that was approved by an NSI standard, released in 1999, version 2.4 released in 2004, also approved by an NSI standard, except messages in this version can be processed in real time. Version 2.5 released a year later in 2005 with approval from current NSI standard. Version 3 is currently in development. Moving on, HL7's primary objective is to ensure that healthcare users can access the right data anytime, anywhere. And to achieve this objective, these strategies prove quite effective. Number 1. Developing clear standard of healthcare information to ensure seamless exchange. 2. Developing methodology for HL7 interoperability standards. 3. Educating healthcare stakeholders like practices and policymakers about the benefits of standardization of healthcare information. 4. Via HL7 international affiliated organizations, promote interoperability standards. 5. Encouraging domain experts to join in HL7 to develop health information standards. 6. Collaborating with organizations developing standards such as ANSI and ISO for promotions. 7. Collaborating with HIT users to ensure standards meet real-time requirements. Before I move on HL7 integration and protocols, let me give you a brief overview of how healthcare integration works. Quite simple. There's an export endpoint, known as sending application from where data is sent out. It's received by import endpoint. What happens between, that is data moving between endpoints, management of queuing messages, and sorting of message flow, all comes under methodology. Besides this, there are certain integration requirements, and those are: Number 1. First in, first out. Number 2. Flexibility to address changing requirements. Number 3. Need of external application and provider integration to send-receive data. Number 4. A shorter implementation cycle. Number 5. A scalable interface. Number 6. Compatible with different data format like HL7, CDA, CCR, and XML. Number 7. Ease in testing interface and its maintenance. Number 8. Easy to monitor and manage implementation. Moving on to HL7 and HIPAA protocols. Both are crucial, but it's important the relevancy. Let's see. HL7, as I have already mentioned, enables data exchange between healthcare software solutions from different vendors. In a care setting, HL7 will come in use during events like patient admission and billing within hospitals. However, HIPAA-enabled EDI-X12 transactions happens between two different types of organizations, such as hospitals and payer companies. Sometimes HIPAA EDI-X12 messages might contain HL7 messages. So, it can be said that both are different standards, but quite important too. Now let's see the final and most crucial part of the HL7 integration process. The step is to plan the interface. A well-planned HL7 interface offers multiple benefits like reduction in duplicate data entry, better workflow, and so on. Let me quickly give you all an overview of how to plan for the right interface. 1. Analyzing interface requirements. 2. Designing interface and stipulation. 3. Development and interface examination. As these three steps ensure the plan for the right interface, the next step in integration process is building the interface. This step begins with the execution phase, then moves on to building the interface, and finally testing. Once the interface is developed, it's time for the final step, testing and validation. This step involves unit testing, which includes identifying issues overlooked by interface engineer during gap analysis, and integrated testing, which includes reviewing data as it flows up and down the systems via HL7 interface. Before I wrap up this video, I'm sure you all have got an idea how HL7 integration works. Perhaps all these processes would become really difficult without a talented developer. Wondering how? Here's how. 1. A developer will help in streamlining all operations and workflows needed for HL7 interface implementation. 2. Documentation of data flow, internally and externally. 3. Coding inbound and outbound messages. 4. Implementation of right integration engine. 5. Develop interoperability by customizing interface engine. 6. Finding right system for data storage and retrieval. 7. Helps in integrating data from existing to new interface. 8. Perform proper testing. And that brings us to the end of today's discussion. We at OSP have the experience and capability for HL7 integration. We can also guide you through the third-party integration and implementation process. If you want to know more about our work in integration or custom development, do check our website www.osplabs.com. Stay tuned for more.